Check out this fun fact that I dug out. Hawkeye was originally going to appear in several scenes of this movie, including a fight scene where he had battled Captain America after prolonged chase through the city. Scheduling issues with Jeremy Renner prevented this. Isn't that crazy? What's he doing? Welcome to The Cover, where three Hoosier friends judge books by their covers and movies by their trailers.
That's right. I'm Brett, here with my fellow Indiana natives, Remington and Marcus, ready to dive into the stories that keep us up all night and occasionally put us to sleep.
Whether you're a bookworm, movie buff, or just here for the witty banter, we've got you covered.
Each week, we'll dissect a different book or movie, sharing fun facts, hot takes, and moments that make Marcus cry. Spoiler alert, we're not experts, but we're definitely opinionated.
From literary masterpieces to blockbuster flops, nothing is safe from our snarky reviews and wild tangents. Who knew Hoosiers could be this entertaining?
So grab your popcorn and reading glasses because we're about to embark on a hilarious journey through the pages and screens that shape our lives. Or at least our weekends.
You're listening to The Cover. Let's get the show on the road before one of our kids wakes up.
What's new, boys?
Super Bowl LIX.
Licks. Super Bowl licks.
Super Bowl licks.
Let's name all the people that got booed out of the stadium, starting with Taylor Swift.
Taylor. Let's name somebody who did not get booed.
Trump?
I'm pretty sure he didn't get booed, but
No.
when you guys didn't immediately...
Although he's the
I
one,
wasn't
he's the
paying
source.
close enough attention to
He's
know who
the
got
source
booed or
of,
not.
so he very well could have been. But I think everyone was in a fantastic mood, except for Chiefs fans.
Well, yeah, I mean, listen, I would have just assumed that everyone got booed because it was filled with Eagles fans from what I could tell.
Yeah.
Dude,
and Eagles fans are the worst.
did you see the clip? You know, both teams have like an
Unless you listen to
after-
this show all the time, then I love you, but Eagles fans are the worst.
Both teams have an after party planned, right? Because you don't know if you're going to win or not. And the Chiefs after party was the most depressing thing.
Dude, their
I've
bench
ever
was the
seen.
most depressing thing. Like, they kept showing shots.
It was-
Like,
I mean, that'd
they
be
were...
hard. That'd be
Oh,
really
man.
hard.
Disarray.
I mean...
Especially after winning for so long. It's not like they were happy to be there. They weren't happy to be... Like,
Yeah.
could you imagine getting to the point where you're not happy to be at the Super Bowl?
You mean just happy?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I have something to tack on today. We made a Costco run right after school. And the girls went with me, and they're always excited about the free samples. I'm like, I'm really just trying to get in and out, but fine. So we stopped at every single one. Check this out. Chocolate-covered strawberries, stop number 1. Stop number 2.
But this is just like you can eat them?
Yeah,
Okay.
free samples at Costco.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Rem is not a Costco guy. Let me explain.
No, I mean, we have a membership. I just
Okay.
never go.
Okay. So, yeah. So then stop number 2. Egg bites from the Starbucks egg bites.
Oh, yeah.
Stop number 3. Stanley's salted chocolate caramel.
So did you just go home without buying anything?
Those are so
Dude,
good.
you could have.
Those are the most
That reminds me.
Those are the most addicting
Oh my gosh.
freaking
I
candies.
Riley bought them once. I threw away half the thing because
Yeah.
I couldn't stop.
100%.
So I gotta share a story. This is a 2-second story.
Yeah.
So you guys all know my friend Marty.
Oh, that was a good story.
Yes,
2
Marty.
seconds.
Marty is a bodybuilder.
Yep.
And
What's his nickname again? What is he?
Marty is his nickname. So Marty occasionally would make me feel very uncomfortable because his social cues were off just a wee bit, not all the time, but just a
gotcha.
wee bit. We go into the freaking candy store. We go to this mall, and it's us and
Every friend you have loves candy.
it's us and 2 girls, and we go into the mall, and we go into the candy store, and the guy's like, "Hey, you can try any gummies you want." Marty's like, "Okay." I kid you not, goes around to 4, 5, 6 different ones, tries each one of them, says, "Oh man, I don't need to buy it anymore," and walks out. And this is past the point where you're a kid and you can get away with that. Like, we're in our 20s, I'm pretty sure. And I go outside, I'm like, "Dude, what are you doing?" And his girlfriend at the time let him have it. So he literally went back in and bought like a bunch of
Was this
candy
at
sharks.
school?
This is when we were still in school.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
The way you were describing it made me think of Shipshawana.
No, I mean, it was a mall.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, that made me feel so uncomfortable. Is that, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
It's like when you're with someone and they're like, "Hey, I'll take the tab," and then they don't tip well. You know?
But then I always find myself getting angry at them, and then once I realize they didn't know, I feel even like,
oh, it makes you feel even worse.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially if you're the one that calls them out.
Yes. Yeah. Last stop, by the way, was a probiotic soda pop. So
I hope so. After everything you ate.
welcome to the Cover
This is
Podcast.
well-designed.
It was well designed. I'm your host, Brett Wiggins. As always, to my left is
The asset.
I'd say, especially on the day you dress up like a girl on campus.
You know what? You know who would have done that? Russell Wilson would have done that. You're the
Let's
Russell-
ride.
I'm the Russell Wilson of the podcast.
Listen,
Unlimited.
Winter Solar, let's ride.
Unlimited. Cover Podcast. Let's
Well,
ride.
the asset. That's
Cover podcast,
listen,
let's ride.
I'm talking about. This is actually that's what they call Bucky is the asset.
Oh,
I'm sorry, we
And
don't even know where we're watching yet.
That's what they call Bucky is the asset. And I was like, oh, that should be my name. That should
and
be my
sitting
name on
to
the
my
podcast.
right, the liability, Sir.
Remington Ramsey.
Sir Remington, what are we covering?
Oh, I see what you did there. I'm caught up now.
Yeah.
See, I'm so busy,
You
like,
said it so confidently, too. I was like, this is awesome.
just roll with it. Well, Brett, for Steve Rogers, awakening after decades of suspended animation. Hold on. Is this the right one?
Winter Soldier.
This one? Yeah. Yeah. All right. I think this is. All right. Here we go. For Steve Rogers, awakening after decades of suspended animation involves more than catching up on pop culture. It also means that this old school idealist must face a world of subtler threats and this is tough.
Subtler.
You want to say
Subtler
that again?
subtler threats and difficult morale complexities. That becomes clear when
Great
director
for the
Nick
6
Fury.
S's. Stew, stuffing, stir fry, salsa, and what is it?
Moral morale.
Guys, I'm doing my thing.
Sorry.
That becomes clear when director Nick Fury is killed by the mysterious assassin. Here they come again, this stupid S's. The Winter Soldier. But not
S's. Stupid S's.
But not before warning Rogers that S.H.I.E.L.D. has been subverted by its enemies. When Rogers acts on Fury's warning to trust no one there, he is branded as a traitor by the organization. Now a fugitive, Captain America must get to the bottom of his deadly mystery and help the Black Widow and his new friend, the Falcon. However, the battle will be costly for the Centennial of Liberty. Sentinel of Liberty.
I was like, that's a weird spot to end.
With Rogers finding enemies where he least expects them while learning
Remington should be the one that reads
that
these?
the Winter Soldier looks disturbingly familiar. This movie is Captain America, the Winter Soldier. 2014 PG-13 rating, 2 hours and 16 minutes runtime. Chris Evans, Samuel L. Jackson, Scarlett Johansson, Robert Redford, directed by Anthony Russo.
So, have you guys ever been selected to read a
2014.
big
Yeah.
chunk of scripture for like small group or at church? Dude, I can't get.
You're not even nervous. You just
No.
suck at reading in that moment.
It's the worst. This is Riley's favorite scene, by the way, when they're in the elevator.
Oh, when he
And,
kills everybody?
when
Cool,
he's like
Riley.
One that is a meme.
Cool,
basically.
Riley.
So wait, what is he? He says something along the lines of, "So just before we get started, does anybody want to leave?" Is that what he
Does
says?
anyone
Yeah.
want out of the elevator?
So
Yeah.
good.
This is one of the most iconic, voted on by the people. This is what I told you guys before. This just a disclaimer.
Mm-hmm.
The three of us are going to do our best, but there's a whole world of nerdiness that
Yeah,
we're
we're not worthy.
we're not going to
We're not
delve
comic book
into.
nerds. Not at all.
This is one of how many Marvel movies in the timeline right now?
48,000, I think. 48,000.
No, seriously, how many are in the timeline right now?
I
Do we
don't
know?
know the answer.
Producer Nate, do you know how many from start to finish? Because the first one is actually Captain America.
Yes. If you're
In terms of the timeline,
Yeah, I do the time. I like watching them in timeline order.
Yeah, not when they were created.
Yes, not when they were created.
I've never done the other way around, to be honest.
No, don't include shows.
Well, the shows is part of it.
Yeah, but
Well, now
once,
it is,
once they
but
made
they've
me
been
commit to the
filling them all
shows, that's
in.
when I. It's
They've
kind of
been
like
filling them all in.
They were the NFL, and then they tried to be baseball, and I was like, I'm out.
So okay, so tell us how many are with the shows. Now we're not going to count
Now
each individual show. It's just the fact that there is a show in between the movies. Okay. But how many movies are there?
So many that they're on phases.
They're in phases.
Yes, it's like phase.
Right.
one.
There's like 4 phases.
Yep.
7.
Yep.
7 faces. Cool.
The feedback I've heard too is whenever we're trying to do math on the podcast, people love that. So is there anything else we could try
We
to
should
figure
do
out?
lots of math.
Lots of math.
Lots of math.
All right.
Carry the one.
I'm still trying to count to 9 over here.
I've got some math for
not
you.
ready.
Guess what percentage of our audience is Canadian?
Oh, wait. I just spoke at a conference
In
that
Canada?
Canadians were at.
Oh, okay. Well, that's exactly how many we have. Is 2.9%. So one of them didn't really listen.
It's either
One of them
it's
didn't.
Angie McDougal, Johnny St. Pierre, and I made up
Oh,
that
that's
there was a third one.
Yeah. Cool.
Those shoes that they gave the women, those they were like tennis shoes that were heels.
No,
Those
that
were
was
weird.
So Angie and Shayla got
By the
this
way,
idea.
If we're going to name people on the show that nobody knows, we can at least send those people that show.
Okay, yeah, we should do that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like we're naming a lot of people that nobody knows.
Yeah.
They do a thing where every time they see each other, they both put $100 into a bank account together. And then it adds up to X amount over time. And then when it hits a number, they do something
Well,
fun.
whatever those shoes were, because she was in the picture with Jeff Bry.
Yep.
Those were kind of cool.
Yeah. Angie's cool, dude.
I never saw those.
Shout out
before.
Angie McDougal. She's fantastic.
By the way, we haven't pissed off the Germans too much. We're still at 7.5% German listeners. Just thought you guys should know.
That has to be someone's VPN or something.
You know what? We are.
Who has a VA in Germany? That's got to be the most angry VA of all time.
When they find out that we aren't fans of Hydra, they're going to be super
Oh yeah,
upset.
here's another one.
Oh man, that's true.
What'd you know going into it, Remington?
Our beloved Hydra. Well, so I don't know. I started from the beginning. I had watched probably 3 Marvel movies and wasn't really into it until I think you, Brett, said, "Hey man, have you tried watching them all in sequence and seeing like how they're all related?" I was like, "That sounds like fun. We need a next thing to do." Lost wasn't on our radar yet, which by the way, we're in season 6.
Oh,
Nice.
dude.
And it's phenomenal.
It's
Oh, yeah,
cooking.
very
So
good.
here's what I will
Very
tell you.
good.
Do you if it had an ending you were disappointed by, would you even care at this point?
Yes.
Oh man,
I would. I love it, but it needs to end well.
Oh man,
Because listen, Game of Thrones, same thing. Game of Thrones was phenomenal, but what sucks is that
many
people hate
seasons
the
are there? I
way
forget.
6 for Lost.
There's 6 total.
6 total, and we're in 6,
so by the next time we talk, you'll be done.
which is next week.
Yeah.
That's 10 episodes. Yeah, I can do that. I can get that done.
I'm excited to hear.
Yeah,
your
we
take.
definitely need to hear
That may be why you were coming down on me watching the rest of this movie for this podcast 10 minutes ago, because Lost took
Decisions were made
precedence.
last night at 1 a.m., yeah.
Dude, we didn't even watch the Super Bowl. We turned
I
the
wouldn't have
Super
watched
Bowl
it
off in quarter 3.
To be fair, you could have turned it off.
Yeah, so
quarter
did
two,
everybody
but-
else. What was your favorite commercial?
Oh, Dunkin' Donuts
Seal.
for sure.
The first one?
Dunkin'
Seal.
Donuts was great.
You thought it was funny? I thought they tried way too hard, and half of the jokes didn't land.
I thought that they wanted. I don't know. I thought that was the funny.
I like Dunkin' Donuts, and I like those people. It just felt like they were like, "Hey, let's just waste a bunch of money with stars," which I feel like every year
I've
someone
never
makes that
seen Somebody
mistake.
go out Starbucks before. That was kind of cool.
Not gonna lie, did
You
not
didn't even
catch that
realize?
until this moment.
Yeah, I thought it was cool. They went at Starbucks because everybody you
I
asked,
missed that commercial.
everybody
It was
you-
the first one.
Everybody,
It was-
No, I missed it.
Everybody you asked, it's coffee to coffee. Everybody, you including your says, dude, Dunkin's
Dunkin'.
way better.
It is.
Now the vibe,
Probably
the
not as good for
environment, the star. Like I love going into a Starbucks and working. I love it. But yes, the
Have you tried working in a Dunkin'?
no, because it's like working in a McDonald's.
Have you tried working in a McDonald's?
Yeah,
They've rebranded. Have you tried working at a Cracker Barrel
No,
with the fireplace going?
That
With
sounds
people
cool.
playing checkers.
that's kind of cool.
Yeah, man. I haven't done it.
sit on a rocking chair.
I'm just saying, have you
Sit on a
tried it?
rocking
Don't
chair.
knock it until you try it.
Hey, we could work for the cover
I
pretty
think
easily
there are
on the
some
rocking
things
chair. Just
you
read
can
the book.
safely knock without trying.
All right. All right. All right.
Lots of directions.
What's the worst place you could work? What's the worst place you could do work at?
Where's
worst?
Where's
Yeah.
a place that they put down animals?
Oh, man.
What do you call
Brett
that?
can go so dark so fast. I love it. I love it.
Type it up an email.
So more, not even mortuary. Just skipped funeral home, went straight to where they put on. Oh man,
Yeah,
Straight to
if anybody
animals.
just lost a dog or something, we love you. We have dogs. All of us have dogs.
oh
If
man.
you lost a cat, that's your problem. All right. So
We do not have cat
Don't love
listeners.
cats. We don't love
This is not a pro cat
no.
podcast. This is a
So
It's a He-Man Woman Haters Club for cats. This is the He-Man Cat Haters podcast.
This is the Casa Dojo Bojo or whatever.
Yes. My name's Ken.
Dojo.
We still don't know if so
Barbie comes out this week. We haven't been canceled yet. We have 2 days before we get canceled.
This episode may never be
Oh,
heard.
we should
That's true.
set this up because we decided to do this because Captain America: Brave New World comes out.
Yes.
It will have come out the week before we release this.
If you're listening and you hear this right now, we survived. We survived the mob, which honestly,
I think we'll be
mob's
fine.
pretty small right now.
I think we'll be fine.
Yeah.
Small. To piggyback on Remington's thought, my wife and I, Riley, I love you. We binged every single Marvel movie available at the time during COVID summer 2020. 40 hours in I think 1 month. We crushed it.
Yeah.
It was so awesome. I wish I could relive it again. This is the one I was talking about watching movies, and then I watched them for the podcast, and I learned from 0% to 70%. I do remember much of this because it's so well done. And what opening something.
Oh.
And what I did, I guess I didn't realize until midway through our summer that if you read the comic books, you already know all this stuff. Like this is straight from the comic books.
So do they veer off of it at all?
I have no idea.
I'm my understanding is it's very, very close to those same stories, same things, everything. So like there are Marvel comic book, I mean this in a very good way, nerds who everybody's freaking out about the multiverse and stuff. They're like, yeah, I've done that for years.
Yeah.
But yeah, we binged it all straight through. It was awesome. It was great. Marcus, remember the first time you saw it? 2014.
I do remember.
Okay, tell us about it.
Because I saw the first Iron Man movie, which to me is the first Marvel movie in this.
Yes,
For
release.
launched.
Had they planned on, because that's a standalone movie, had they planned on doing this whole interwebbed thing?
I have no idea if it was a plan, but
because Fury's in that.
Without the success of that movie and Robert Downey Jr. So I had seen that in 2009 in the drive-in theater with my wife.
Which one?
Pause real quick.
Is there one in Indy?
No, Plymouth, Indiana.
They're all up north.
Them tossing. Who was the first guy that played? Black guy that played in Iron Man 1, but
Don Cheadle.
Don Cheadle.
Don Cheadle's later.
He's later. They used him to replace
Forrest Whitaker.
No, not Forrest Whitaker. It's no. He was on Rogan and talked about this time continuum theory. It was not Forrest Whitaker. Forrest Whitaker.
Well, then I don't know.
Nate's looking it up right now.
Iron
Man 1 cast.
Either way, I saw that one, and I believe Iron Man 2 probably, right? Came out before this. And then, so those were the only two Marvel movies that I had seen. I missed Captain America: First Avenger.
That might be my favorite Marvel movie, by the way.
I missed Captain America. First
That's the
Avenger.
one where they use all that
Terrence
weird
Howard,
tech,
Terrence Howard.
the CGI. That's all really bad.
Howard. Okay, yeah. Okay.
And that's your favorite because it shows the original, the birthing of him,
I just love that. Well, they don't show his birth if you haven't seen it, but
the birthing of Captain America.
His origin.
This is my story. This is about me. So I'm in Paducah, Kentucky, as a sales coach for the sales rep that's down there.
Paducah.
Not gonna lie, I did not know you were telling a story. Where are we in this podcast right now?
The first time he's seen it.
What did I know going into it?
Okay. Wow.
He says, "Do you want to go see a movie?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm in Paducah, Kentucky. What else am I gonna do?" And we go watch.
So you
Captain
go to the
America,
drive-in
Winter
theater?
Soldier.
You went to the drive-in theater with this guy?
No,
I'm mixing
I went
stories.
to a normal theater.
Okay, I'm
I
mixing
went to
stories.
the drive-in theater to see Iron Man with
got it.
my wife.
Okay, that makes way more sense.
She wasn't my wife at the time, but with my wife.
After that night, you
So
made it happen.
I saw Captain America: Winter Soldier, and I was like, "Oh, I love these Captain America movies." So maybe that's one of the reasons, is because it was my first Captain America movie that I had seen. But this is my favorite of the Captain America movies.
Iron Man was the
and it's
only...
top 3, I think, for me.
You'd like this over
top 4 for me in the Marvel universe, I think.
the original Captain America, the first Captain America. That's one you like.
I think this is a much better movie than that.
I think. Well, I mean, they spent a ton of money on not using CGI.
I think this is a much better
Really?
movie than the first one.
I had only seen Iron Man 1 and Black Panther before watching the entire thing. I hadn't watched anything else besides those
Black
two.
Panther's fantastic.
So me watching however many movies there are, it was my first time seeing all but 2 of them, and it was so awesome.
Yeah, watching them in order.
Oh, it was so awesome.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I do.
That's
I
the
think
experience
this
we
movie's
had.
got it all. So I really like this one.
I don't think Doctor Strange. I don't think he gets enough credit. He's pretty great.
Honestly, they get better. Like for me, one of the Black Widows where she has a sister.
Yes.
That's one of the best
Yes.
ones. Doctor Strange.
Yes.
Is one of the best ones.
Yeah, the Black Widow movies. No, I think it is the only Black Widow movie.
It is.
Just Black
Oh, there's
Widow.
only one?
Yeah,
Where she has
But
a sister?
She's in so many, but
The
yeah,
way
she
it
has-
starts, it's so dark. It's
That's
got that guy from Newsroom that plays Hellboy.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Oh, so good. 30-second synopsis. What is it, Marcus? You got your 9 words?
I think so.
Over there. Let's rock and roll. 9 words for you. Go ahead.
Oh shoot. Okay. I thought you were gonna go, and then I was gonna. Okay. Cap becomes pariah, but saves America and Bucky anyway.
Oh,
Nice
I like
work.
that. I think you'll like my slam poetry here. I just made a note for my next show. Brett first. I'll go first.
I thought that's what Sometimes you,
Hey, man.
Sometimes you
I like to
hit me with it.
keep you on your toes. Sometimes with my grammar. Other times with this.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go. Marvel will go down in the comedic timing Hall of Fame.
Mm-hmm.
On your left, Steve Rogers versus Shield. Fury. Is he good? Is he bad? Is he dead?
Furious.
Scarlett Johansson. R.I.P. her Disney career. One of my favorites. Steve Rogers versus Bucky Barnes. What are the odds? Enter Falcon. The transition of power from Nick Fury to Captain America. Who knew Samuel L. Jackson could finesse a helicopter like that? Steve Rogers is a leader worth following. That opinion is all mine because he'll be with you, regardless of where, to the very end of the line.
Nice work.
Yeah, thank you.
Well
Thank you very much.
done.
What made us stop and think, gentlemen?
I just deleted all my notes. I'm not even lying.
Nice.
I'm about to punch a baby right
You
now.
just watched it.
Oh, man. Marcus,
I had some good takes.
you want to kick
Okay.
things off?
First thing I wrote down was Cap's shield is awesome because it starts with this fight scene.
It is awesome.
And it defies gravity, right? I mean, you want to talk about movie magic. That sucker, he's throwing it all over the place. It hits like 3 people and comes back to him. How
He's
does
one
this
with the
work?
shield.
How does this work?
So the interesting thing is we know how Thor's hammer is made because we see that process eventually when they have to remake it.
yeah, when they make
The star. and
when
all
they
that.
make not his hammer, but
The
the other one.
Oh, sure. What the little guy from Elf is in it?
Mm-hmm.
The angry elf. Little guy.
Peter Dinklage.
Yes. And
Call me Elf one more time.
oh, you're an angry elf. South Pole elf.
South Pole.
Do we know what the shield is? Do we have any details on that?
Well, his shield is made of vibranium.
I was going to say uranium.
Mm-mm.
That is Homer
That's
Simpson.
an actual uranium. Uranium is an actual element.
Vibranium is what's found on Black Panther's
Yes.
planet. Yes, or situation. Okay.
Yeah.
So
his shield is made from vibranium.
do we know how? Do we know any origin of his shield that was made? Okay, Nate's saying yes, we do. Okay, got it. So I think that's your answer is that it's made out of a chemical thing that does not exist.
It's probably probably made out of kryptonite.
I'm just saying it's awesome. That's
It
that's
is.
my main thing. Is like he utilizes that shield to its fullest extent, and that was the first note that I took because I was like, man, his shield rocks.
Is there any correlation between the Shield, the organization, and his shield? Is there any like?
I don't think so.
He's
There's
the
none.
first Avenger.
Do any of us know what shield stands for?
Oh,
I can find out real fast. I have this new thing called Google. Watch this.
No, he's gonna find it. But it reminds
It's
me
more
of.
fun if we act like we
Yeah, let's just tell us. Let's just predict what we think it is.
I went to Stretch Lab for the first time today. Have either of you guys ever been there?
Say
I've
more
met
words.
The owners.
Awesome experience. Awesome experience. And the guy is giving me my orientation on the situation.
Wow.
And there's an acronym,
Whoa.
like MAP or something, that stands for something. And he's like, yeah, and it's M for this and A for this. And he looks at me and goes, the P's for and he looks behind to the wall where it says it, and he's like, yes.
Oh, I say it doesn't know.
Prostate? Is that what you said?
Not prostate. Process.
This story is making me uncomfortable for a lot of reasons.
Dude, I'm telling you
Don't
what.
think I'm going to stretch.
Could
lab.
go in very many different directions.
Don't knock it till you try it, Rem.
I'll go to Stretch Lab the day you work at Dunkin' Donuts.
Ooh.
You don't have to work at Dunkin' Donuts. You have to do your work at Dunkin' Donuts.
I was like, wow, you really don't want to go to Stretch Lab?
You don't have to work there. Just do your work there.
Do your work there.
My main takeaway is I'm so mad that Scarlett Johansson and Disney had a falling out because I love her.
Did you guys remember she was married to Ryan Reynolds?
What? No.
Yeah.
So she's married to
I forgot.
SNL boy. Now.
Yeah, exactly. Because that was my first note of the entire movie.
When he was making fun of her
During his SNL skit? Michael Che.
Michael Che wrote
Wrote his jokes,
his
yeah.
jokes for him.
For Christmas.
Oh
my gosh.
The Christmas
Arby's.
one was wow.
That was brutal.
Did you know them panning her? That was a real reaction.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they asked her for permission if they could roast her, but they didn't say what they were saying.
Got it.
So my first note, okay, yeah.
So you did delete your notes?
I found they're out of order.
Thank
but
you, Steve Jobs.
Isn't it just crazy that like Scarlett Johansson was like defined a decade of, the girl.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
And she was married to Ryan Reynolds, and now she's married to Colin. Was it Yost?
Yost or something like that.
Coach Yost.
Yost.
Harlem. Anyway,
Oh, first episode.
He's getting beat like he stole something.
I just painted my nails. That's a deep track for you there. By the way, okay, never mind. So anyway, he's married to this girl. Like, no, I had to look up what his name was. That's what's funny to me. Is you go from Ryan Reynolds to I have to look up the name of this guy. Now, the thing is, he's a really cool guy. He's really funny, but it's just funny to me. Is that not funny to you guys?
It's pretty funny.
What's funny is the way we're talking about him, and he's 90 million times more famous than we are.
Mm-hmm. But we still don't know his name.
What a loser. What a loser.
I mean, you don't have to be famous to
I did write down that she's great because she has no real powers.
Well, neither does Falcon or Batman.
Yeah, but he has a cool suit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
she's true skill, Russian skill.
Yeah.
What's his name with the? I feel like everybody
Hawkeye?
craps on him. Yeah, he's.
Oh,
not
I got a fun
great
fact
either.
about
What?
Hawkeye. So
I
check
like
this out.
Hawkeye.
Okay, everybody.
You just like Jeremy.
I love Jeremy Renner. The
Renner.
Town. That's going to be one of my next picks.
Check out this fun fact that I dug out. Hawkeye was originally going to appear in several scenes of this movie, including a fight scene where he had battled Captain America after prolonged chase through the city. Scheduling issues with Jeremy Renner prevented this. Isn't that crazy? What's he doing? Originally, Hawkeye was sent to hunt down Steve, catching up to him and the two of them fighting. Steve wins, but finds Hawkeye. This is how elaborate it is. They have this entire scene in this movie. Steve wins, but finds Hawkeye whispering to him to make his defeat look real, revealing Hawkeye deliberately lost because Quinjet is recording the whole thing overhead.
Really?
He also alerts Steve about the tracking device in his suit.
That's a cool scene.
Isn't that crazy?
That's a great
Here's what's
scene.
crazy to me that you just brought up. Imagine the contract negotiations necessary to have all of these stars aligned to make all of these storylines work over the course of all of these movies. Like, do you think everybody that was in Endgame, that was part of their initial, like, hey,
Eventually,
you have to drop
at some
it
point-
for this scene?
At
or-
some point, they had to have
like
negotiated
that
many
alone.
movies.
Yeah.
There could probably be a movie made about lining up all the schedules
Oh,
and
for sure.
everybody being in it. That like to create that, people struggle making a sequel because people argue about, well, I'm not getting paid, whatever. Like, that's wild.
You know, what is interesting is like when you used to buy DVDs, they'd have all the extra features either on the backside or on the other DVD.
Yeah.
And I guess there's YouTube now, but you gotta hunt it. It's not what Marvel wants you to know. And if like, you know what I mean? Like Marvel doesn't have a extra section of the movie, each individual movie. I wish they did. I wish they'd go back to that. By the way, Disney, I was thinking about this too. Disney is one of the worst apps. Like
Yeah.
functionality, you have all this money and you're buying all these things. Like, can you get one guy to make the app better?
And all of the apps keep getting better except theirs.
Except Disney and Hulu. I mean, it's just garbage.
Yeah.
Well, they're connected. I think they're both owned
They are.
by
No,
Disney.
Hulu's owned by Disney. But
Yeah.
my point is, it's trash. Prime's getting better.
Yeah.
HBO's getting
Peacock has
better.
gotten
Peacock's
way
better.
Oh yeah, I have Peacock, but only through Amazon. Apparently, is how I
You
signed
probably
up for
just
it.
purchased it through Amazon.
Yeah. But I.
Well, you
I
don't have the app?
I don't even have a Paramount account. I just access
Paramount's
Paramount
different than
through.
Peacock.
Or sorry,
Peacock.
Paramount is what I meant. I purchased Paramount on
Yeah.
a trial for
Yeah.
through Amazon,
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
and I can access it through there. My question is, am I missing anything from the real Paramount?
You would know, but you
No.
also would be able to sign in. You would be able to like have that.
Yeah,
app
if you-
for Paramount
if you could find it.
because you bought
Really?
it. I signed up for a free Amazon trial, a few weeks ago, and I'm sure that I'm paying for that now.
Yeah, I got my girls' iPads for the trip, and I'm signed up for all sorts of like Barbie games. and-
Random
Oh,
$29.99 charges that I find 6 months later. I'm like, Riley, what are we doing?
One day
It was a fired.
One day I get a text
iPad.
message from Xfinity saying, "Thank you for your purchase of," and it was like some movie that is very inappropriate for kids.
Okay.
right? Like The Accountant or
Okay.
something like that,
Yeah.
right? And I'm like, what is going on? Am I being hacked? Like, what's going on? I go in the next room and I've got a 2-year-old with the remote just pounding buttons.
Oh,
that
you
bought-
saw it when they instantaneously bought it?
Yeah,
You're like,
yeah.
they just bought it?
I got a text.
Oh,
that
that's
says,
Marcus,
so
they got them on your
fun.
alert.
Holy
Thank
cow,
you
I
for
need to
your
get those
purchase
alerts.
thank you for your purchase of this movie. And
That's
I was like, what's
great.
going on? And I'm trying to figure it out. And I've got a 2-year-old in there
Hitting
buying
buttons.
a rated R movie that's very inappropriate.
That's great.
Yeah,
no idea what they're doing.
I used to have
So
it
did
set
you
up-
end up watching it that night?
Yeah,
I knew that's how that ended.
You
So I
can
might go
set
home and
it.
watch it tonight.
You can set it to notify you for
Before they buy.
Well, no, certain dollar
They all have
amounts.
I have pin codes for that stuff
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you can set it to where, like, even certain cards, you can set it to where any purchase over blank amount.
Oh
you'll
yeah, I
get
have that
notified.
too. Yeah.
Turn that off pretty quick because it's just depressing.
Oh man, I get emails every day from Amazon. I feel like they're my friend.
I bet they feel like you're their friend too.
Yeah.
All of us.
Yeah, they love
Man, what a juggernaut! Holy cow, Amazon's.
No, Juggernaut's X-Men.
Sorry.
Yep.
Yes. Okay.
Let's see. What's my next?
The guy that plays Juggernaut is in Lost.
Oh,
I don't even know who Juggernaut is.
Have you watched the X-Men?
X-Men.
I haven't watched much X-Men. No.
So is X-Men not Marvel?
Not well.
It's not in the Marvel universe.
It was Sony, but now
It
it's,
is now.
Now it's Disney. And
Okay. This is the part that I don't educate me on this. It wasn't Sony or Disney when it was a comic book. So is it?
Somebody bought the rights. Sony bought.
But
the
is it
rights.
interwoven into the comic books? If all of this stuff was interwoven,
Oh,
is X-Men also interwoven in this? Do we know?
I think we need. I think we need.
Producer
X-Men.
Nate, is there a
this is
quick
where-
answer on that?
Yeah, this is where our expertise draws the line.
Mm-hmm.
They're all interwoven.
They're all interwoven.
They're all interwoven.
They leave out the X-Men.
They would constantly be selling off.
Yeah, it was a money grab. What's his name?
Stan.
Stan
Well,
Lee.
what Spider-Man was Sony and then got bought at some point, right? Isn't it like the first?
I know, but I'm just saying
Tom Holland
back when they were all just comic books. Back
And
when,
Sony
He's saying
allowed
do the
this
comic
partnership
books.
to happen?
What Rem's asking is do the comic books interweave all of these people? And
And the answer is yes.
I think they did. At
they
certain
did.
times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sold them off one by one.
Okay, here's my last question, and then we'll keep rolling.
Yeah,
Oh, was
because
that
my
your last
next
question?
my next note of what made you think is pretty funny.
Okay. Did DC and Marvel ever do commingling comics? And the answer is yes. So I want to see Batman appear in these Marvel movies. Is what I want. Show me.
Which
show
Batman?
me. Well, I think it'd have to be George Clooney.
Everyone's
I'm sorry.
disappointed
Why
by
are you
that.
laughing?
Batman and Robin.
Marcus-
You guys can crap on it all you want. I think it's hilarious.
Listen,
And
Batman
Poison
and
Ivy was smoking hot.
Batman and Robin is
Who is Poison
awful,
Ivy?
but
That's,
it
that's
came
Uma
out-
Thurman.
Batman and Robin came out at the perfect age for us. That it didn't matter how good or bad.
Oh
it was.
yeah.
I've-
When
I
you're
watched
when
that
you're
movie
a
so
middle
many
schooler,
freaking
Whoever
times.
did
You
play
love Arnold
Robin, I
Schwarzenegger.
remember liking Robin, whoever Robin was.
It was Chris O'Donnell.
yeah.
Yeah.
Got it. I'm nodding my head like I know.
Mr. Freeze.
And then the girl
Marcus-
that plays Alicia, what's her face? She's
Silverstone.
Yep.
Yeah, that girl.
Marcus, you said you have a funny. What made you think we'll be the judges of that? Go ahead.
Oh, so there's in this fight scene. In the fight scene, the knife almost hits the guy in the penis, and then everything stops, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they just look at each other, and then they look down at the knife, and then they look up, and then they start fighting again. And I just wrote, that's classic cinematography, just classic.
Yeah.
Where you like, there's an Indiana Jones moment like that where it like comes up through the, through the train car. The rhinoceros comes up through the train car and almost hits him in the penis. And he looks down. The other guy looks down. Neither one of them takes advantage of it because everybody
It's like an unwritten
knows
rule.
You don't mess with a man's penis. You just don't. It just doesn't happen.
Rem, how many P words do we get until you have to mark explicit concept?
I don't know, man.
Explicit.
I thought I was gonna have to mark explicit when you were talking about your stretching and all that, but
Penis is not an explicit word.
It's not. It's not.
I think there's a limit to how many times you can say penis before parents turn this off in the car.
That was
Really?
a funny. I thought the Homes.com commercial on the Super Bowl was kind of funny.
Oh, I thought Homes.com was great.
Yeah, when they're like, you can't say Homes.com is the best.
Yeah,
You can't
they
say,
had 2 commercials and they
what
were
can't
pretty
you say?
solid.
Homes.com that was pretty good.
Yeah,
That was funny.
there was some commercials that just straight up missed. Straight up
I really
missed.
didn't pay a lot of attention to the Super Bowl.
I wasn't. I didn't pay much attention
I
to the
wasn't
Super
locked
Bowl in
in.
general. Yeah.
Wasn't locked in.
Hmm.
So I thought Winter Soldier's entrance, it's up there on most epic entrances to a movie for a bad guy or for any character ever. I mean, that stopping the car, stopping the whole movie. I mean, it's right here actually. Is this it? Yeah. Stopping on the concrete with his aluminum hand or whatever.
Dude.
It's an
So
epic entrance.
Will Smith and I, Robot. Remember I, Robot, where he has the same arm?
So
He's got a robot arm.
what am I thinking of? I Am Legend. I Am Legend was what I was thinking of.
Yeah, you guys confuse those 2 movies. In iRobot, he's got a robot arm. That's why he can battle the robots a little bit more than everyone else
Oh,
does.
he
that's-
does know
that's
he has a
that's
robot arm?
That's right.
We halfway through the movie, you find that out.
I was getting that confused with with Hancock.
Oh, Hancock, a third
That's
one.
a superhero movie.
Can you
right?
find Hancock on Peacock?
Wow.
Does Peacock have Hancock?
If a Hancock could peacock,
I'm just gonna.
how many Hancocks would a peacock cock?
Marcus.
There it is. To your point about the cinematography, the timing of the comedy in all of Marvel.
I know. I wrote down
is
Marvel has
so
good
great.
dry humor. Even the first scene where she goes, "I'm here to pick up a fossil."
Yeah.
That's funny.
And it
That is
doesn't.
funny.
It doesn't take away. Like some movies try to do that, and it takes away from the movie. It doesn't take away from the movie at all. It adds to it.
I think it's because they move on. They don't like meander. They don't like try to really bring it home.
I think my favorite one was when,
It's dad humor too, like most of the time.
yes, Black Widow kicks some dude off of a roof. Like the whole movie, she's kind of trying to hook up
Yeah,
Steve
which
Rogers
is
with a
funny.
girl.
Yeah.
Wait, the librarian or something like that.
Yeah, well, it's
or just
something different
anybody.
all the time, anybody.
Yeah.
And then they're at the end of this crazy fight scene. She kicks this dude off the roof. She comes back up and she's like, "So yeah, what do you think about Whitney from accounting?"
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it's just stuff like that.
Because
I
they
love.
know that Falcon's gonna.
That's why I like Ocean's 13.
Yeah.
Ocean's 13, by the third movie, they have mastered the banter between George Clooney and Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
And every time they come into a scene with those two, they're mid-conversation and they only tell the punchline and then they move on, and it's so funny.
Brad Pitt plays a lot of different guys, but that's the guy that he plays that I think I love the most.
Oh, for sure.
He plays-
That's his
he-
classic.
He
Rusty
he's
is
got a
his
little bit of
classic
that in
character.
Fight Club, he's a little bit of that.
Yeah.
In
It's almost like they just said, "Hey, you go do you."
You be Brad Pitt.
Once
Yeah.
Upon a Time in Hollywood, there's a couple of moments where he's like that.
The thing I think is funny is like through many of his movies, he's always eating something
Yeah.
in all of his scenes. And the first when you really notice it is the Ocean's movies.
Yeah, the
'cause
Ocean's
he's
movies.
eating something in every single scene. But it happens now in
Do
other
you think
movies.
that's something
that
he
has.
encourages and tries to get in himself, or
Has
is
to
that
be.
yeah?
It has to be.
It's the wardrobe that I think is interesting. I wonder how much they care about their character's wardrobe and they like, ask for certain things, or they show up and like, it's almost like a kid saying, Mom, can I wear this? I wonder if actors do that. Like, can I wear this one?
I'll bet that Al Pacino did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out Sunny Boy episode.
sure.
Yeah, he probably actually.
By the way, the week Sunny Boy came out, which was at the time of this recording last week, guess what show also had the most downloads when we did Sunny Boy? It's completely
downloads
unrelated.
ever?
It's just a fun fact.
Most downloads ever?
That day.
Oh,
So
that day.
we had, X amount of downloads for that day for Sunny Boy.
Oh.
And then people went back and listened to another episode. Guess which one it was?
The Matrix.
Matrix. They're loving the Matrix.
Nice.
Matrix. And then within the last 10 episodes, people are loving Devil in the White City.
Oh,
They're
nice.
going back to all over that one.
So Slumdog won't get the press it deserves. That's
Oh my
probably
gosh.
one of our best episodes.
Slumdog might be the best episode we've ever created.
That was very funny.
Was that a
I
let's-
was working out. Typically, I'm either doing something or like I'm at the gym, and I kid you not, guys, I was laughing my butt off to the point where people were stopping the workouts to look at me
And they're
like, "What is
what
this
are you
dude
laughing
doing?"
at? And it's like me talking.
It's like, yeah.
Was Slumdog the second of a back to back?
I just made a really funny joke, I swear.
Slumdog and then Social Network, I think.
Oh man,
So-
Social Network was one of my favorites too.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
Those Apple Teenies.
So we were talking about Sonny Boy, right? And in that episode, we mentioned the death of Sonny in Godfather.
Yes. Oh, interesting.
Okay, so go with me here. How much money would Sonny have paid for Fury's car? Because Fury
For
gets
sure.
in a very similar predicament.
I had that
I
note.
made this note. Fury gets in a very similar predicament. And dude, that car was darn near.
That car was better than any Bond
Is
car I've
Fury's
seen.
Tahoe the best vehicle we've seen yet?
Oh, for sure. What
so.
one even
in
comes
any of our
close?
movies? Yeah.
I think so. Is it the best?
Define best. Would you want to drive it?
It understands the assignment.
Well, then yeah.
Whatever the assignment is, like
On the 1,000th bullet, it's like 31%.
dude,
31%.
is there anything?
What
in
kind
this
of
car
window
that
is this?
working?
Air conditioning.
Air conditioning.
I thought it would have been funny in that moment if he's like, all right, fine, I'll take that. Turn that on.
It is the best.
Can you
vehicle
even
we've
name another vehicle in a movie that we've watched?
Well, so, I mean,
I mean, you sounded like that was pretty. Like, was that a note you took?
you know,
Dude, the
is
Range
a
Rover,
note I've took.
the Range Rover that they
In
drive.
Four Christmases?
Four Christmases.
Oh,
is
that is a really nice
I
truck.
think I meant just in general. the best
Hold on. Now
vehicle
I'm
we've
curious.
seen.
Now I'm curious. Let's go back through the last. This is the last couple episodes, and we need to name a better car. Die Hard. So it would be the cop car that the
Well,
dead guy
they
throws
did
in.
have some sweet cars in the Matrix.
The limos. Okay.
The Matrix, like with the
Well, the futuristic
suicide
cars.
doors.
Guys,
and
I
stuff.
think I meant a general comment of we've ever seen. I think that's what
Definitely not in Braveheart. There was.
that car jumped into a lake.
You know who could have used it? Tara Westover could have used it while her dad drove 39 hours in a row and nearly killed their entire family. They could have used it. They could have used it.
Fight Club. He steals that car from the airport. That's a convertible, and then he
true.
can't find it. He's like, "Where's your car?" He goes, "What car?" That's a great hidden gem. All right, I'm done.
Thank you.
This
Thank
only
you very
goes back to like episode 15, by the way.
Yeah,
All right.
that's when I started making it.
Are you serious? So it's possible there's a better car in episodes 1 through 14.
I'm sure Matthew McConaughey or Dave Grohl drove a different car. A great car at some point. Marcus?
That's a great transition.
Okay, I did say this. If we want like a real conversation to take place,
No, don't do that.
Okay,
All right.
never
I'm just
mind.
kidding. Go ahead. No.
I did think that it's just really interesting. Nick Fury is trying so hard to compartmentalize like who all knows what. He's trying to control the flow of information, and it's ultimately his downfall, right? Because he needs to have so much control. You guys are leaders. You guys lead a lot of people. You, like me, like for things to go your way or the way that you think that they should.
Sure.
And we've all made many mistakes. Where do you fall on that? Because like it drives me nuts if I'm working for somebody and I don't have the information that I need. But that compartmentalization ended up being part of Fury's downfall here, not letting other people in on different things.
What are you actually asking? What is the exact question you're asking?
Like from a leadership perspective,
I tend to.
are you more of like a radical candor, everybody knows everything, or are you like
Keep some things under the hood for a reason?
Yeah.
Yeah. I would say I try to create a inner circle, and I'm very open with that inner circle for sure.
Yeah.
But to Fury's point, when you find out there's a rat in the inner circle, then what do you do? Like, that's tough.
Yeah.
That's really, really tough. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say that there's definitely a reason to have tiered knowledge. Like there's definitely a reason to have certain people that know more. And I think that there's, especially business-wise in an organization, it's okay to be an open book. But I think there's some things that you broadcast and some things you let people individually come to you for. In terms of information, that would be my answer.
Yeah, it was just interesting because it ended up hurting him that he wasn't letting different people in on these different things.
But
Yeah.
it could have killed him if he let the wrong person in.
Yeah.
Sure.
We don't know. Maybe it turned out to be the best case scenario, because my note was, could you imagine building something like Fury did with Shields with the helicarriers? Helicarriers? Is that what they ended up being called?
Yeah.
Only to find out they were actually designed to ruin the world.
Right.
He was
Like-
just a pawn.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Could you imagine?
Your entire life's work, basically.
Yes. Everything. Yeah. So probably worthy of a freak out moment. We haven't talked about Hydra yet. That whole angle, which starts in First Avenger.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Hydra.
End of World War II.
So these are basically still
The
Nazis.
the paperclip project, right?
Yes.
Which I think it's either a conspiracy theory or a real thing. I don't know, but I think they did this for real, where they.
I don't know. I didn't know this.
I'm pretty sure that America said, "Hey, there's Nazi scientists and other people who are it's worth having their brains and everybody else, so everything else.
Let's
so they
recruit them and let
they
them live?
recruited them and they placed them in different places.
Well, that's I think we got into that a little
I think
bit.
it's called like Operation Paperclip.
What's the why can't I think of the name of the book that we did?
Viktor Frankl?
Yes.
Yeah.
He gets into a little bit of
Man's
that.
Search for Meaning.
Yes.
Guy that survived the Holocaust.
Man, that was a great book.
Yeah.
That was some good insights there.
His quote from that book, if you're thinking about listening to that episode, is when I can no longer change my circumstances, I am challenged to change myself. Some version of that.
He definitely changed my thinking on I have control over nothing, because that was my
Except for my attitude.
dude. It's wild. So Hydra is obviously looking to take over. I loved when
Not looking to take over.
yes, they are. They are almost successfully. I mean, they almost get there. So Captain America is leading Falcon out, and Falcon goes, "So how do we know who the bad guys are?" Well, if they're shooting at you,
Yeah.
they're
Bad
bad.
guys.
This happens right during helicarrier takeover, realizing Fury's.
Have you guys
Fury's
ever
in
watched
trouble.
Blacklist? Have you guys ever
Oh,
watched
yeah.
that?
I love James
Yes.
Spader.
Dude, me too. I'm a big James Spader fan.
Yeah.
There we go. We should do the mannequin.
I don't know if I've seen The Mannequin.
Yeah, I don't know why I've seen the mannequin, but James Spader is in that.
I know I've seen. He's kind of like the music group Train of actors. I know I've seen
I've seen him in a bunch of
with him
things.
but I can't name.
Yeah,
He was in The Office. I mean, he's
Oh yeah.
this reminds me of
Robert California.
Yeah.
the plot kind of reminds you of Blacklist, where there's been all of this takeover, and you didn't realize it. You didn't know that it was all happening right there under your nose the entire time, because bureaucracy, because people are just following orders, everything else, they're able to infiltrate and slowly take over as people continue to get moved up the line.
So here's my question, because you're mentioning like daytime television or primetime television. So to bring it back to Lost,
Which used to be primetime.
do they write it with the end and then do the web from there, or are they that talented of writers?
I think you're gonna know this week.
Well, so what I'm saying is like J.K. Rowling, before she created Harry Potter, as I understand it, created all the characters and then wrote their stories out, and then wrote the story almost wrote the ending first and then wrote.
I think that's only half true.
Really?
Yeah, because if you remember,
How could that be half true?
Because the first 3 books came out real fast,
Okay.
and then there was a 2.5 to 3 year lull, and what she was doing was exactly what you're saying.
So making more of a web?
Once she had written those first 3 and they had taken off and gone crazy.
So that's interesting.
Then she picked the ending.
Okay.
And then she plotted the whole thing. Whether she had
So
it written
then,
or not is one
so
thing.
then
She
that's even
plotted
more.
it out.
That makes she's even more talented then.
7.
She's even more talented then because she wrote in a way that didn't pigeonhole her with any character or any storyline. Because one of the main things about these great stories is that there's no holes.
Well, there's plenty of holes.
But they're really hard for the naked eye. I mean, the harder you have to hunt for like a hole, the more impressive
You were
big web.
probably shunned from reading Harry Potter at a young age, Rem.
I wasn't into it. I don't
But
think
you
I
would have
would
been allowed to.
By the time it came out, I probably would have been able to.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then Marcus, I'm assuming
I
like
wasn't allowed to, so I wasn't.
Oh.
So what's funny is I wasn't allowed to read it, and my great aunt, got me the first 3 books for Christmas.
So your parents had to make a hard decision.
In 6th grade, she got me the first 3 books,
Okay.
and I was
And your
like,
parents are like, I guess you're
I
allowed
want
to
to read these. And so my parents, to their credit, read them.
Oh, that's cool.
So my mom had just been hearing a bunch of things, but she was like, well, whatever, I'll just read them.
Good for her.
And so she and my dad read them, and they love the Harry Potter books too.
Yeah.
But because they read them, they were like,
Good for her.
You can read this.
Mhm.
And that's
Nice.
what started me on that. Yeah.
So were you like by the 4th book? Were you like waiting in line?
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, this
my
is
dad
a
would,
big deal.
So it was early Amazon, but my dad would buy them on Amazon, and they'd be delivered the day of. And so, I mean, the 4th and 5th book, I think I read in like 24 hours. It was like,
has
I
there
didn't
been
stop.
a book with that big of a following since that?
Not the way that another one comes out. So the Hunger Games was a smaller version
Yep.
that was like a flash in the pan of what Harry Potter was. But I can't think of anything else since
I
that.
can't think of anything that's like that.
Divergent, kind of, but nothing as radical.
How old were we, Marcus?
I'll tell you. Actually, I'll tell you what came before that. I think was the Left Behind series.
Goosebumps.
No, Left Behind series.
Oh,
Left Behind series was massive.
Oh yeah.
Not just in Christian
Christian
circles.
circles.
Not just in Christian circles.
Oh,
I mean, it was massive.
Producer Nate's showing me 50 Shades of Grey over here, and that one was big. That was, the
Well,
books. The books were huge.
Are there more than one book? Are
Oh,
there-
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Marcus is like, oh yeah. Next one comes out next week. You don't know?
Marcus, how old were you when that 4th book came out?
8th grade.
So
Harry
so-
Potter, we're talking about.
Yes, Harry Potter. so you were like waiting for it that day. How long would it take you to finish a book when you got it?
Man, those are really long. Starting with the 4th one,
Uh-huh.
but I would read it in 24 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every double check there, Rem.
Yeah, you're out.
Every
I'll get back. There we are.
Every single waking moment you weren't doing something else, you were reading that book.
Totally.
Would you stay up till like 3 a.m.?
Yes.
Wow. See, I'm so jealous of that because I feel like my teachers. So when the first couple came out, we were in elementary school, right?
Yeah, like 4th, 5th grade.
None of my teachers capitalized on that being such a big deal to get us
to get you
want
to read. Yeah.
It's just so weird. Why wouldn't you? All the wins at your back. Were they scared of backlash of?
I mean,
families
I think I
who-
was. I mean, I wasn't alone, but it's not like everybody was reading Harry Potter the first 24 hours that it came out.
Not the first 24 hours, but they were definitely buying it and starting it. Yeah.
I remember when I was in. So we were probably. Were we in 7th or 8th grade when the first movie came out?
Freshman year.
I had friends that went and dressed up at
Yeah.
the theater.
Yeah.
That's great. And we're like,
Dude, well,
it was cool. It was people who are cool. Like
the
Yeah.
seventh book.
That's how
the
then they were.
7th book came out when we were in college, and it was in the summertime in July during SC2. And I remember Chris Lights and we were just like, no, dude, we're freaking reading this book. It was during the SC2 push.
Wow.
That's awesome.
So that's because there's only 7 books, but they split the 7 into 2 movies.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
found out this thing on the side of my headphones spins, but I don't know if it doesn't.
Oh, it's a fidget spinner.
Okay, are we gonna think of any more things that make it? Oh, here's a good one. Does good kissing take practice?
I think when
Because he kisses her.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
Because they're doing the distraction, and she makes a comment, and
It does. It takes one good kisser.
mm,
As long as one person is a good kisser, you're good.
I'm gonna trust Brett's.
If one person is a good kisser, they will adjust and adapt.
I've literally kissed 2 people in my life.
It
so.
is if you have a Peyton Manning of kissing, they will call audibles. They will make it happen.
Oh,
Yeah,
My wife is a good kisser. I can attest
Same.
to that.
samesies.
that's great, man.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Good stuff.
Any other questions you have there, Brett?
I brought it up in my slam poetry, but Fury's helicopter game is next level. Saving Falcon.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
dude.
Oh
when he
my!
turns.
Yes, it's such a good moment. It's
Dude.
fantastic. By the way, there are so many cues of our podcast being culturally relevant and driving trends. Like Will Smith talking about the Matrix randomly after
Yeah,
we did
dude.
Matrix. Samuel L. Jackson introducing Kendrick Lamar
Yeah.
right as we record this movie. Like,
Crazy.
what
Does anyone like Kendrick Lamar's music?
his
A lot of people.
so
like this
so
music.
his
I just don't understand.
Section 180, I think, is the name of the first one. Amazing. His first album that went big. Was
I went to his This Is Kendrick Lamar, and I couldn't get into
all of his new stuff.
No, it's his hits.
But it's his new stuff.
You
It's
went
new,
to his
newest hits.
concert.
I went to his albums. Like I was just like,
Oh,
okay,
oh,
he's got this beef with Drake. I know who Drake is. Drake
I
is good.
loved-
I don't listen to his stuff, but I
maybe
know
it's
his
Section 80.
stuff.
Section 80, great album, and Damn, a great album.
Hmm.
To Pimp a Butterfly, it was a weird. Like,
Pimple Butterfly. I can tell you right now that's not a good album.
Well, if you knew the origin of all of that, but it's definitely a where he tried to go like let me go right when I've been going left, and it was like but yeah.
I like Tyler the Creator.
So he's listening. To
He does the album for The Grinch. It's really good.
Do you know about Tyler the Creator?
No.
Yeah, you should look it up.
Is he demonic?
Is
he messed
a
up?
couple things weird about that guy.
He is weird, but I like his music.
Yeah.
So
hey,
I wrote
that's fair.
down. I wrote
He does have
down
good music.
that I thought it was interesting that they said that the 21st century is a digital book, and that this AI taught them how to read the book, and then they could predict the future.
Oh yeah. I'm
Because-
forgetting. Why am I missing? What was the context? What moment were they talking about that?
So this is when they're in the bunker and they're talking to they've already talked to the AI.
Yep.
And then basically what they're saying is the 21st century, guys, is a digital book. And basically this AI taught us how to read this book.
Yes.
We know who, like Minority Report.
This is the
we
computer
know,
talking to them. This is the scientist that's now his.
the Nazi guy.
Yep.
No, it's somebody else saying that the AI
Yes.
taught them how to read this digital book. Thus, they can predict all of human behavior. They know the people that are going to ruin the world. So they're just going to kill them all in one foul swoop with these helicopters.
Have you heard Nate Bargatze talk about one foul swoop? It's a funny bit.
This digital, like, I don't know, man. It's Minority Report. It's everything else.
Oh, you're gonna bring up Tom Cruise now?
I deny cookies as much as I can. That's all I'm saying. Every time I'm like, do you want to accept cookies? No, I deny. Because I don't want to get shot down by some helipad. at
Oh
some
my
point in time.
gosh!
'Cause I'm-
Every time.
I gave up.
Every time there's something wrong with one of our apps or programs or websites at work, the guy who basically runs all of them, his response is always, "Have you cleared your cache and cookies?"
Mm-hmm.
There is a running joke about cache and cookies
Yeah.
within our circle that is it. I'm gonna make T-shirts.
Cash and cookies. That's good.
So I need to go mass production with this. If you guys like it,
Okay, let's go live on the podcast before you've done this.
We got 7 days to decide because if it's gonna be big. We
gotta patent it, buy the website.
I'm telling you, I just made a T-shirt. The front, so I went golfing a lot this week. It just says,
Oh, look at me. I'm Brett. I travel and golf.
So wow, you have so
Some of
much
us-
money.
This is good.
Wow.
The T-shirt just
What
says,
watch did you wear while you golfed?
I only travel with my Apple Watch. I don't travel with any of my nice watches.
Wow. You have an Apple Watch.
So the shirt says, "Just don't 3-putt." Is
Ooh.
that not an awesome brand? That's great, right?
Just don't 3-putt.
Just don't 3-putt.
I don't think it's a big brand with golfers.
It's okay.
Golfers wouldn't say that.
It's decent.
Oh, your average bro golfer that just goes to hang out with the boys, just don't 3-putt.
I think it's close, but not close enough. Sorry. If you're, I'm just being honest.
Okay.
I think it's close, but it's
I'm
not
gonna make
close enough.
$2,500.
I already ordered the shirts. How hard was it for Marcus not to talk about his new tattoo and the what's new? Because I just remembered I just saw it. How
I
hard-
forgot about it, to be honest with you. And
Got his
I just
first
saw it too.
tattoo.
I just
So
saw
wait,
it
do you
too.
wear your ring over it right now?
No,
So no ring.
it's done.
I'm done.
So
I'm-
Marcus has a
Jessica's wearing the ring.
So-
tattooed
Honestly.
ring.
Are you going to get another tattoo?
I could.
Were you like Jessica?
I told you.
Were
He
like-
had no desire until he got
Were
one.
you like, Jessica, do you know how much cheaper this would have been than your ring?
Wait, so Jessica doesn't wear a ring either?
Well, he said to wait at least a month.
But she's going to put it back on over it.
On and off, probably.
But you're not.
No, I'm done.
Yeah, that's great.
I mean, from there, it looks pretty cool, right?
Yeah, it's sweet.
Yeah.
You
Is it two lines?
Yeah, just 2 lines.
Representing.
Just 2 lines.
Okay.
Yeah.
2 people.
I was going to do something that was like more meaningful or whatever, and everything.
It'd be
that
weird
I
if there was one line.
everything that I was telling him, he was like, "Listen, man, it's on your finger. It's gonna fade. It's gonna suck." Like,
I have heard
Let's
that
just-
because you.
let's
use
Oh
it
yeah,
so
you
much.
wash your hands so much.
so this basically just looks kind of like a ring.
Yeah.
I had originally said, "Why don't we just do it on the top?" And he was like, "Well, you could do that, but then you're gonna look like you wimped out halfway through." And I was like, "Well, then you're definitely gonna do that."
That's all you have to say to Marcus Mangus.
He read you like a book.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, fantastic. All right, any more? I almost said any more. That's what she said. Any more made you think?
Are we gonna talk at all? We don't have to get serious, but are we gonna talk at all about this like freedom versus security idea that underpins the entire?
That was interesting.
The entire film.
Yeah, that was interesting.
I mean, to me, it's probably the reason that I like this movie so much.
Do you have the quote when it was who was it that says it?
Maybe.
Is it the AI that says there's a distinct quote where I knew that would be the direction of part of this show. But
I might have it. We'll have to potentially get to it. But the idea is like people will always, people will give up their freedom slowly, right, for security.
Dude, we lived through this.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. Well, and it's interesting to me, in our current political climate, like it is Trump and Elon are like taking an axe to as much as they can. And I actually don't know how it's going to turn out. Right? Like I don't know. And it makes me a little bit uncomfortable that I don't know. But that's what it takes if you're going to like disrupt the status quo at such a high level. And and you think about like how much freedom have we given up in the name of security, you know?
Like big scale or small scale?
Well, I mean,
like what are you talking about specifically?
They know everything about me.
Yeah.
The government knows everything about me.
Yeah.
And that makes Captain America sad.
But was that in the name of security, or was that in the name of ease of life? Like the reason so for the cookies, the reason why I say yes to the cookies is
They're
because
delicious.
it makes my life easier.
Yes.
They know what to give me in terms of ads. They know what my passwords are so I can log in. It's not necessarily, for me, it's not security, it's convenience.
The line from the doctor though was mankind must
This is it. Accidents will happen. Accidents will happen.
Surrender its freedom to gain its security.
Yeah, but that was on the little movie that she was playing.
Well, it says accidents will happen. Hydra created a world so chaotic that humanity is finally ready to sacrifice its freedom to gain its security.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what they did. They did that on purpose. They did all these different wars. They did all these different things so that people are like, man, I don't want freedom. I just want to go live my life.
I
want to live in the Matrix.
One of our good conservative, very conservative friends, Chris Hammond, Always is that's how they get you guy. Always. Like won't even.
That's how they get you.
Won't even put his email into a Google form sort of person.
Nice.
And I always I'm like, dude, they can have everything. They got access. Like track yes, I want you to track my habits so you can offer me better things on things I'm actually interested in, whatever. And I always joke about it. And dude, I've never been woken up the way I was woken up with COVID ever in my entire life. Like it was the first time ever I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
This is real. This is actually, this matters.
He said he doesn't invest in gold. He invests in steel.
He used to have gold.
He was just talking about bullets. That's what he was talking about.
Is that what they make bullets out of? Steel?
I don't know. Whatever they make bullets out of.
Lead?
Oh, still kids. You know we're not going to make pennies anymore?
Carbon steel.
Hot Lead and Cold Feet. You guys ever watch that movie?
Mm-mm. Peanut Butter Falcon.
Hot Lead and Cold Feet. You know who the actor is in that? Jim Dale. He plays 3 characters.
Jim Dale. Oh, yes.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
So it's about a killing spree
It'll
and
be
somebody
like
not getting married?
Hot Lead and Cold Feet when they meet.
Feels
It'll
like,
be
it feels like
Hot Lead and Cold
Johnny
Feet when they meet. Don
Johnny
Knotts
Cash
is in that movie.
That feels like Johnny Cash.
Don Knotts is in that movie too.
Don Knotts?
Yeah, it's awesome.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's a note that I wrote down about Scarlett and Colin. What was that first date like? Like how did he get her to go on that first date?
Well, was she? I'm guessing.
She was a host.
Was she a host of SNL?
I don't know.
Dude,
I just want to know what that looks like.
if
Hey,
you're a
what are you
single guy-
doing later?
If you're a single guy,
Shoot your
Pete
shot.
Davidson, great example. It's the right environment. Everybody's feeling good. They're the star of everything, and you
Shoot your shot.
swoop in the right moment.
Pete Davidson was on that All Famous People Are Aliens commercial. Did you see that one? I can't remember what they were advertising. What were they advertising for that? If you're interested in knowing
Clearly
what they were
no.
advertising.
Great commercial.
Were these the lowest
Great commercial.
Super Bowl ratings ever? I haven't seen.
I don't know. I don't think so. I think it was
Wouldn't
probably pretty
surprise
high.
me. It wouldn't surprise me.
Can you guys hear me?
Why do we
Okay.
call people who are coming over, when people are coming over, why do we say company? Why do we call like companies coming over?
Company.
Why is
To
that
keep
a thing?
me
If I
company.
think back to the Indifferent Stars Above,
Mm-hmm.
that's a group of humans going to the same place. A company.
Wow.
Yeah. Nice recall. You were
Hey.
genuinely asking,
Yeah.
and Brett genuinely
And I
answered.
specifically didn't look it up because I thought it'd be more
Do you
of a
remember when I
conversation.
rated the? Do you remember?
Handled.
Do you remember when I rated The Matrix a 9 and broke Marcus?
Yes. I was so disappointed until I listened it back and I understood what happened. That was so good. All right, so so here's a little off topic, but multiple people played 2 superheroes. How funny was it in Wolverine versus Deadpool and Wolverine when?
Oh, you did finally see that?
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Okay.
So they come up on Chris Evans,
Yeah.
and they're like, yes,
I
because
know.
they think they're getting Captain America, and he's Fantastic Four boy, which is like the stretch guy, yeah, the flame guy, and they're like, who is this guy? Making fun of how poorly like that movie was compared to Captain America.
Oh, that was so funny.
But I was like, there's multiple people who've played multiple superheroes.
Mm-hmm.
Ryan Reynolds being one of them.
Yeah.
The Green Lantern.
Yeah.
Ryan Reynolds played Green Lantern.
He was the
before?
Green Lantern.
How a long time ago?
Before Seth Rogen.
Oh wow. Okay.
And then Robert Downey Jr. to stay with this whole thing. So riddle me this: how is he Iron Man, and then also this new guy that they're coming out with?
Because it's a movie and he's not the guy. He's acting as a. It's not like they're gonna be like, "Oh, you used to be."
They're gonna be like, you don't. They're not gonna be like, hey, you kind of look like the guy that looked like Iron Man. You kind of look
I don't-
just
I-
like Tony
By the
Stark.
way, Dr. Doom
in
thing. I don't know.
real life, yes, they would do that. In this movie, I don't think they're gonna do that.
I changed my mind on what movie we want to watch. Count of Monte Cristo is the movie.
Oh, you brought that up many times.
That's the movie I want.
Wait, instead of what you originally told us,
I can't remember what I told you, but yes.
because you originally told us one of the most popular movies
Back to
of
the
all
Future.
time.
Oh, Back to the Future.
Well, no,
Count-
that's the second movie.
Count of Monte Cristo.
That's it.
Yeah, over Titanic.
Nate, you got it. Don't mess it up.
Done. I am so jacked.
So we went from Titanic
So Back to the
to
Future.
Back to the Future.
Perfect.
Kind of
So if you're
This is
disappointed
great.
with that, write into the show and let us know,
Yeah.
and we'll do those too.
Then when we do those movies, we can talk about other movies.
By the way, there was a reason.
And we'll find a way to quote Inglourious Bastards and talk about Harry Potter.
Yes.
There was a reason. If you leave here, they're not gonna know. What does he say?
Turns out God was a squirrel. I shot and ate that.
He goes, if I just let you leave here, they're not gonna know you're a Nazi.
Oh, when he's carving it into his forehead?
Yes.
I'm guessing you're going to take that uniform off.
Yes.
I was afraid of that.
No,
So we're really never gonna do it. We're just gonna talk about it.
Yes.
All right. Sounds good. I was watching on my own.
Hugo Stiglitz. Bam!
It is silly. If I go to watch a movie like that's not for the podcast, I'm like,
I know.
You know why they call him the Bear Jew, don't you? So he beats people.
Beats their heads over with a baseball bat's what they do. Hey, Donnie, we're all tickled to hear you say that. It's been a while since we had a show. Donnie!
is that Tarantino?
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Man, his movies are so good. Just so you know, guys, I wanted to do
Third
Pulp
most
Fiction,
Tarantino.
and I got vetoed because that would have been 3 Tarantinos in a row. Just so you know.
2 Tarantino.
2, but okay.
No,
It was 2. It was 3 Leos in a row.
Yeah.
Just so you know, guys, I wanted to do Pulp Fiction. Wait, Pulp Fiction isn't Leo?
Oh my gosh, Brett. I can't get back. You're the host.
Get us on track. Quotes.
We need quotes.
Have you guys been to the Smithsonian?
Is that a quote?
No, but I'm going to go now. Wait, no, that's the Kennedy Center. Never mind. I'm going to go there
You're
now.
going to the Kennedy Center?
The Space Center?
I'm going to go now. Trump's he's rebuffing it, man.
Have you been to the Corvette Museum?
No.
You guys been to the Gulf of America lately?
I have not.
I was close.
To go into the Gulf of America?
You probably
Yeah, I was
flew over
near
it?
Fort Lauderdale. I flew into Fort Lauderdale.
Oh, yeah. I'll be flying over it in
Isn't
2
Fort
weeks.
Lauderdale on the Atlantic?
I think it's west side. Isn't it
Oh.
southwest?
I thought it was Atlantic.
Oh, no. You know what? Because it's close to Miami. Miami's the Atlantic.
Well, Miami is like the tip.
Yeah, and Fort Lauderdale is like an hour tops from there.
Yeah, but I think it's northeast. Anyway, secure the engine room and then find me a date.
Wait, are we on the quotes?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
All right.
I like that one.
And then
Secure the
find me a
engine room and then find me a date.
I loved the first On Your Left was good. And then the third, fourth, whatever. But the On Your Left recall to end the movie
Yeah.
was fantastic.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Was
It's an
fantastic.
Easter egg. That's a hidden gem.
Don't say it. Come on.
On your left. Yeah, so fun fact, Chris Evans and Scarlett Johansson wrote their own dialogue for several scenes that they played together. How did that work?
Well, it's like
You come with a scene, you come with it, and you're like, we can do better.
Do you think so? You think they were like, "Hey, we think we got better ideas on this," or you think the director was like, "Hey, we want you to tease this out"?
I think the way this fun fact was written is that they had notes and they wanted to do it their way.
Nice. That's cool. You know what?
That's fun.
That's cool, and I hope that great directors out there
Anthony
are like
Russo.
open-minded to that. You know,
Dude, great fun fact. So, Brett, I thought of you for this one. Like, this is a fun fact on the director. So,
was somebody awesome at golf?
and it's brothers again, by the way, Joe Russo and Anthony Russo.
Yeah.
They were selected to direct the film on the basis of their 2 back-to-back episodes of Community that they directed. So
Is this their first Marvel?
couldn't answer that. Well, yes, it has to be because they were
Wow.
directing Community.
Maybe that's one of the reasons I like it.
But how crazy is
I
that?
like their movies. I like their
Wow.
Marvel movies.
So always being interviewed, which we always say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's the best example I've ever seen of always being interviewed. Always give 100%. You're directing a daytime
Yes.
30-minute sitcom,
Yeah.
and because of how seriously you took that, how well you did, you caught the eye of someone and you got a Marvel movie.
Which did they also direct Guardians of the Galaxy?
I don't know. I can find
Because
that
the
out.
connection there would be Chris Pratt.
Well, the
falling
Russos
into-
did Endgame.
Chris Pratt was in Community.
Yeah, wasn't he?
He's in Parks and Rec.
They did. Russos did Infinity War and Endgame.
Got it. Well, good stuff. Well,
Which I mean, those
It's
are
crazy, man.
fantastic.
You get signed up. Like looking back, knowing that they did that.
Yeah.
World-renowned movies, epic billion-dollar franchises,
Yeah.
because you wrote a sitcom.
It's
2
funny how Some of
episodes.
the other directors and stuff like get their panties in a wad about superhero movies, and I'm like, come on, guys, like these are fun. These are good.
About like how like they're not
like
artsy
real cinema.
Yeah.
I wonder if the studio had that reach, or if the right person saw them at work and was like, "Hey, keep these guys earmarked for something big," or if they were so interested they pursued it. Either way.
How about this one? When they're in the internet cafe and they're looking some stuff up, they say, "Oh, we're looking at honeymoon destinations." He goes, "Oh, where are you guys thinking of going?" "New Jersey."
I like when the dude that plays Falcon comes in and he goes, "I made breakfast if you guys eat that sort of thing."
Yeah.
That's
I loved
a
that.
perfect example of Marvel humor. Hey, while this is up, I did not understand when Black Widow triggers her device to go off on her lapel on her own.
She didn't do that.
So what was she doing? What did she do?
She
there?
fried it.
She fried it.
Because if the device goes off, she's killed.
Yep.
It like makes her explode.
So
She basically like released an EMP.
Oh.
But that
Got
also,
yeah.
basically almost killed her.
The lesser of two evils. Yes.
Galaxy Quest.
Call in the asset. I said that's what I want to be referred to from now on.
Call in the asset.
You could have gotten a tattoo on your finger that says the asset, and I would have called you that.
I wouldn't get it on my finger.
So if I get a tattoo that says if I get a tattoo that says the asset, you guys will call me the asset.
Depends on where you get it. There's one place you can get it that I would call you that.
Okay, I'm in. This should be pretty simple.
We still got like 15 minutes before we get canceled.
Oh, jeez.
I guess I just traded in the KGB for Hydra. That was Black Widow.
This one's a little bit more sentimental. Steve Rogers. Even when I had nothing, I had Bucky. It's pretty interesting.
Their relationship.
That was a really sentimental scene where he's like, I had nothing, but I had Bucky. Like that's a great line about a good friend. Like when you have nothing in this world, but you have a friend.
They're in it till the end, right? Which is hard. Like it's like I think it might have been CJ said something like loving people is hard work. Like loving people, loving them well. Loving people is hard work, and when you've got friends like that, that is love, right? And that's hard.
Well, I think the quote was actually if you, it's something along the lines of if you stop loving someone over something like that, that wasn't love in the first. That's not love.
Yeah.
Love is unconditional.
Yeah,
Love
it takes time.
Yeah.
It takes everything. Oh, you know what? It might be. I've been reading the Ruthless Elimination of Hurry. I think that's where that comes from.
It's a good one.
Is he
Shout out
basically
that
is like
book.
love takes
Comer?
time, love is hard. That's a great book. You guys, Logan basically told us the whole book a couple
Comer?
of years ago. So I've been.
Well, yeah. Hopefully, it took 3 hours on
Yeah.
a 30.
Marriage is
Yeah. Oh, I will never forget. At that retreat. So our buddy Logan's giving a talk over the book. He's 90 minutes in, and I'm emceeing. I'm like, so we should like wrap pretty soon. So how far? He's like, oh, I'm like halfway done. That was my that was my intro.
Yep.
Oh man.
Dude, that was a long.
And it was great.
talk.
It was great until
but I
that
didn't
moment.
feel like I needed to read the book. And then when I was texting you guys all those pictures of the book, I saw it and I was like, oh, I'll buy that. So I've been reading it. It's really good.
Dude, it's an awesome book.
Yeah.
So how far are you halfway through yet?
Yeah, more than halfway.
Dude, he literally is like, I love how the first half of the book is how to use in your life, how to plug in, whatever. And then the second half just goes full Jesus. Like,
Yeah.
right.
It actually reminds me a lot of when we read like Matthew Kelly back in the day because he talks that book Off Balance that he has where he talks about prioritization. And so it reminds me a lot of that actually, but a little bit more overtly
I
Jesus.
loved how the studies of time and how we view time changed from like the sundial and it all started there. Dude, I love that book. I should reread that book. I won't, but
He's got a great.
It's pretty
This is so
easy.
funny. We're
It'd
geeking
be
out
a
about
good-
this.
It'd be a good listen. Just listen to it.
He's a pastor.
Yeah, he's a pastor.
Portland, Oregon.
So his book has those little quotes,
Mm-hmm.
and I want to do that. I want to reformat my book and have those quotes.
His
I was
book
very
is
surprised he
formatted
didn't
very
do that.
interestingly.
Just ran out of time or didn't have them.
No, just when we got it done, it was
I
like
liked
that's the way it
format
looked,
of
and we
your
were like,
book. I like the format of your book better than his.
Really?
His format annoys me.
Oh,
When
say
when
no
say-
more.
When you say format, you mean the
The way it flows.
side notes or what?
No, I just mean the way that his paragraphs, like he puts different, like
Okay,
it'll
got
just
it.
be like one sentence. Like
Yeah,
that
literally
stuff
the
drives me
formatting.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Got it. So
Your other 10 o'clock.
I thought you were saying.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say
trying
that
to
you
get us
ran
back
out
to
of
quotes.
time and didn't need to go back through. So my wife Riley is taking quotes from my book. I gave her a spreadsheet with quotes and what to post with it on my social media. So Rem's like, dude, I need Riley to do that for me. So Riley's like, cool, do you want to like send me some quotes? He's like, no, just read through the book and then when you see some, just post them.
That's exactly
I'm
what I
like,
said.
that is the most Rem response ever. So then I send Rem my spreadsheet. I'm like,
do the same thing.
I'm like, do this. He's like, can I just pay you to read the book? She's like, all right.
Yeah. Done.
Everybody won. Everybody won that day.
Anyway, your other 10 o'clock. I thought
Guys.
that was funny.
I'm looking at this. So I have this feature. Every hour my phone changes, and it used to be a background that would change on pictures that I chose, but now it's just on featured faces. So you know how iPhone will like put together all the faces? This is so great. So iPhone will put together all the faces of like Marcus, and it'll give you like all of them, and it'll be like, who is this person? And it will name it.
Mm-hmm.
So I created one for all my kids and Kelsey so that it would like filter through the backgrounds. So I made one for Remy, but you guys know, like Remy gained like 17 pounds in like 2 weeks.
Nice.
I kid you not. I have a screenshot of Remy right here, and he gained all that weight, and it's this fat baby, and it says, who is this person?
Nice.
It literally says, name this person.
That's
My
how they get
iPhone does not recognize Remy.
That's how they get you.
I was trying to get that feature to come up in my photos, and I couldn't get it to come back.
I
up.
don't use that feature. That's how they get you.
That's how
No,
they get
that's
you.
how they get
That's
my
how they
kids,
get
not
you.
me.
That's how they
I'm
get
not
you.
naming myself.
Who is this guy? You'll never know.
Yeah.
The price of freedom is high, and it always has been.
Are we back on quotes?
That was Mr. Rogers.
Mr. Rogers, the price of freedom is high,
Not that Mr. Rogers.
and it always has been. I would be fine with this guy was my neighbor. He's
Oh,
my
yeah.
favorite Marvel superhero. Captain America, he's my favorite.
I didn't get to this, but How I Met Your Mother girl plays an amazing role. She really does a good
How I
job.
Met Your
It's so
Mother.
funny you say that because I wrote down, once you know Robin Scherbatsky, it's hard to see her in a superhero movie.
Yes, but
Robin,
she,
care?
yeah,
Yeah,
Robin
she
Scherbatsky.
totally surprised me by her performance.
Yeah, she's good.
I don't really know that show very well, so
It's like Kristen Wiig
Dude.
as the bad guy.
How funny was it? Because I don't think any of us like I've seen like 4 episodes. Would you guys agree? How I Met Your Mother.
I've seen the entire thing.
Did you watch it as it was happening?
Yeah,
You did.
yeah, I loved it.
I remember Chris Gibson, our buddy
He
Chris,
loved it.
making an intimate post on Facebook when the last episode
Yeah.
went over. And I just remember thinking, Chris, no one else has watched this show.
He did. I might have been behind. He was geeked out over.
Yeah,
it.
I didn't
Yeah.
realize anybody was that deep
Yeah.
into that show.
You know what else he loves that I also love is Scrubs.
Scrubs.
What a
Nate, are you
great
keeping track of all the
show.
people we talk about so we can send the episode to them.
What a
We do
great
this.
show.
Anything I've watched from Scrubs has looked awesome.
It's
So,
phenomenal.
Yeah.
Yeah, the humor is so
Is
good.
it on anything right now?
Every episode of Scrubs is the Jimmy V.
I just
it
get
makes
so
you laugh,
bored.
it makes you think, and it makes you cry.
I just
every
get very
episode.
bored with sitcoms.
It's the Bluey of the 2020s.
Bluey does make me cry, laugh, and think.
Yeah, it's
it does in
Bluey.
6
Dude,
minutes.
Those
6 minutes.
Bluey episodes are so funny.
Yeah. how do they take a brand new concept in this? Like, it makes me so inspired to like think of like there's something that hasn't been created yet that we can create that is going to
they've
literally
got a formula,
impact.
though, for sure. I don't know
Bluey,
exactly what it is
Chosen,
yet, but-
like
Mm-hmm.
epic.
Dude, Chosen for I think it's 2-parter of The Last Supper is in March, April.
Okay.
Oh, are the tickets
You
out?
can't buy tickets yet. You can buy tickets for the first one, but not the second one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm in.
Would you guys be interested in a private screening?
Yes.
Yes.
You might have
At the
some
barn?
You might have some
At the
some
barn?
connections through this show.
Would
I'm
love
very
that.
interested in a
Would
private
love
screening.
That.
All right.
No,
See
Been a
what we
fan.
can-
Oh, dude, look at my hat right now. I'm wearing that.
Binge Jesus. Is that a Chosen thing?
Yeah, that's the original.
So while we're on the topic,
OG Chosen.
I landed on my tattoo, and I'm like, I still need the intro to your tattoo.
Oh, sweet.
It's gonna be. So it's upper right breastplate. Alignment.
Pectoral.
Alignment right. Yes. Alignment right up here. Jesus paid it, and then all is the only word on the bottom row, but all right aligned. I can't decide on period or not.
Are you going to do it in Elvish or English?
So I want to pick a font that is. I can't decide if I want it to. I would definitely want it to be readable, but I don't know if I want it to be artsy and readable or just something very plain. But I don't know. I'm open. I'm open to thoughts.
Take it, Brett.
Bible tells me so.
Bible tells me so.
I'm so glad that you did that.
You guys did not sound like you
Oh,
were doing Jesus.
dude.
Paul.
Oh, we were
When
doing
Marcus-
Jesus paid it all.
Marcus, what? So you, did know
not-
that was that?
Yeah, but it didn't sound like you guys were doing Jesus paid at all.
Well, then how did you know that's what it was?
Because that's the quote that I said I wanted to put on my pectoral.
Literally, we just sang the chorus of Jesus paid it all.
And then we
All
said, take
to
it
my
away, Brett.
own Sin had left a crimson stain,
Stain.
and he washed me white as snow. Forrest Frank has a
Nope,
hymns
nope.
album.
Sin has left a crimson stain.
He
The
washed-
Bible tells me so.
I'm gonna start ending every song with the Bible tells me so.
It sounded like you guys were
Every argument.
It sounded like you guys were humming. What is that song? The Bible tells me, yes, Jesus.
Yeah.
Is that? Oh, it's time out. It's
I
the
saw
same-
how you got there.
Okay, great.
That's great. That was funny.
Okay. Quotes are done.
Oh, man. I had so many, but they don't really make that much sense when you're not watching the movie.
Yeah, let's go to Hidden Gems. I got some good ones.
Gems. The only one I had was the knife he throws through the dude's hand to save the fire alarm pole on the boat. That was great.
The Marvin Gaye soundtrack I listened to today.
Oh, Nate put that in
That
the
was
group
so
chat
good.
today.
Marvin Gaye.
Well, the Trouble Man specifically the Trouble Man soundtrack.
So you can listen to it on Spotify with the lyrics up, and I still need to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What
it was good though.
trivia question? What Marvel movie has the best soundtrack?
Oh, Guardians of the Galaxy.
Without a doubt.
Guardians, yeah, all
Without
the-
a doubt.
all the Guardians.
Bringing back that song was amazing.
Thor.
It's the soundtrack of my summer.
dum, dum,
The
yeah.
dum, dum, dum. Ba-do-do, ba-do. Hey! Yeah. Yeah,
The
so good.
Bible tells
And the way
me
he's-
so.
By the way, when Marcus gets all worked up, he sounds like Martin Short when he's playing Glicky guy. Jiminy
take that.
Glicky.
I'll take that.
Yeah.
I'll take that.
That was amazing. I'm serious. Listen back to the track. You laugh just like Martin Short.
Perfect.
Who plays the guy who fathered Chris Pratt in Guardians of the Galaxy? The guy with the
Kurt
the
Russell.
whistle. That's Kurt Russell?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Am I?
You don't
am
know
I-
who Kurt Russell
am I
is, do you?
thinking who Kurt Russell is?
Well, he's in that
Christmas
Amnesia
Brett.
movie. Well, so that's
Kurt
one of
Russell is the
Oh,
original.
Christmas
Kurt
Chronicles is
Russell
awesome.
is the original Disney teenage star.
yeah, heartthrob.
No. I said the guy who fathered him, not his actual father. The guy who took him in.
Okay.
The guy who whistles.
the guy from
Thank
Walking
you for
Dead.
now understanding why I was so
the
confused.
guy
by you
from
saying-
Walking Dead.
I guess if you say
Which
so.
one?
Oh,
Oh,
the whistle. Yeah.
the worst villain on Walking Dead.
Yeah, I know. That's not the guy I was referring to.
The guy with the bat.
Thank you.
So I had a movie Magic.
Oh,
He's got a shield, right?
Mm-hmm.
that's made out of a
Kryptonite.
material that we don't.
Kryptonite. It's made out of
that doesn't
kryptonite.
exist.
Vibranium, kryptonite. Yep, same thing. And he's walking with this thing, and they're all shooting at him, right?
Yep.
And the whole time I'm like, just shoot his feet. Just shoot his legs.
Yeah.
Because that's what Bourne would do. He would just shoot his feet.
Yeah. He'd
And then
stick
Captain
a pencil in his thigh.
Captain America would fall down, and then he'd shoot him in the face, and then we wouldn't have any of these movies.
Yeah.
But these villains really suck. Like,
Yeah.
they don't really. They just shoot.
No, they do
at
exactly.
the vibranium so that it comes back and hits them in the face.
Idiots.
Dumb.
Do you think that he's got the Lord on his side?
Captain America?
And that's why the bullet's down at his feet?
Absolutely, he does.
There you
yes.
go. Done.
God loves America.
It's been decided. The Bible tells me so.
Yeah. The Bible
do
tells
that.
me.
So listen,
This episode
Robert
should just be called
Redford.
The Bible tells me so.
I'm watching this and I'm like, that looks just like Robert Redford.
And you're like, it is
but it
Robert
can't
Redford.
be because he's dead and then died in the 70s. He's not dead. He's alive. That was Robert Redford. He wanted to do the film because his grandchildren are fans of Marvel, so he wanted them to see him in one. And then I'm like, do you think they wanted to see you as the worst villain in Marvel?
Oh, man.
Can you imagine like getting the role like,
wow.
surprise guys, and they're like, we hate you.
So how
What's that
old do you
movie
think
that
he
Robert
was
Redford
when
and
he
Brad
did
Pitt
this
do
movie?
together?
When he
Where
did
Brad
this
Pitt's
movie,
his
how old
son.
So this is 10 years ago. Robert Redford was at least 108.
$1,700. He was 78.
78. I was close. I was close.
Pretty close.
Yeah.
He is still alive. Shout out.
Good
Rob.
for him. You think he's acting?
88.
Him and
Wow.
Pacino, man.
Dude, look at this dude in his prime.
Oh, he's a stud.
Oh,
he
yeah,
was a
dude.
he was a heartthrob before Kurt Russell.
Well, what was I saying? The
Him and James Dean.
well, him and
He was the original
him and-
Brad Pitt.
Him and Brad Pitt do that movie together where
Yeah.
Brad Pitt's his son. They're
Right.
spies. Is it called Spy Game?
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
a great movie.
They do look like each other.
Yeah, they do definitely. look
Dude,
like
these
each other.
1960s.
I mean, Brad Pitt's probably his son.
Yeah.
These
It's like
1960s
Jordan. It's like Jordan and Ant.
Yeah.
So looking at these glamour shots that all these actors do, did any of you have a
think they're
female
just called
relative?
headshots.
No. Did any of you have a female relative that got glamour shots at an older age?
At an older age.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah. All of them.
No.
Glamour shots?
Oh yeah.
Dude.
All of them.
Everybody I knew,
Especially in the 90s.
Just
that
Olin,
lived
just Olin Mills. That's all we went.
that lived in a trailer park
In the 90s?
got crazy glamour shots.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
with the fluffy hair
yeah.
and the
Oh, yeah.
sparkles in the back.
that reminds me of Napoleon Dynamite.
Yeah.
Should we do Napoleon Dynamite?
Napo-
Shots by what's her
Man,
name?
I wonder if that's still funny to me. It was so funny when it came out. I
Dude,
can't imagine.
The first time I saw Napoleon Dynamite, I was like, this is the worst movie I've ever seen. And then I got to school the next day and everyone was quoting it. And I was like, this is hilarious.
Yeah.
And I watched it again and I
Yeah.
was like, this is the funniest movie I've ever seen.
Yeah. It definitely
But
grows
the,
on
the
you.
first time I watched it, I thought it was awful.
When he hits the tots in his pocket. Okay, let's watch it.
It had to be filmed on like my iPhone creates a better video than what they filmed
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
They
Uncle
made-
Rico.
That dude, they are all poor though. They didn't make any money off of that.
No.
Like they did and they spent it all. Like the Napoleon Dynamite, that dude is living in a
Really?
trailer park
Heater?
right now. Huh? Heater. Yeah.
He's
Well,
still
follow.
around-ish.
No. Follow that
So
dude
you're
on.
saying they
Really?
did make
The two
money,
most
but blew it all?
depressing actors to watch their lives now, this is so judgmental, is the dude from The Big Green, which we brought up last episode, and Napoleon Dynamite.
Interesting.
He even talks about it. He does little reels about
Is
how
the Big
depressing.
Green the guy with the freckles?
Yeah.
The fat kid?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sandlot.
Yeah. That dude does like vines now. Yeah.
It's rough.
And they're not good.
Well, maybe he's making good money on it.
One of
Maybe, but he's
one of my students at Wabash that is he's not a Delt, sorry. He's something at Wabash.
We can't all be awesome.
Yeah. But they had their fraternity had LeVar Ball do a cameo for something.
Oh, yeah.
That's great.
And posted it. It got like 36,000 views in like an hour.
Mhm.
It's so funny.
It's
Wow.
unbelievable how people are famous for being famous.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
He created it though. He knew what he was doing.
I
He
get
understood
it,
the
but,
assignment.
like-
no, I'm not.
Look,
giving him
you can
credit. I'm
understand
just saying-
LeVar Ball's fame, though.
Yeah.
He's got 3 sons,
I
2
guess
of
to your
which in
point,
the
Marcus,
NBA.
anybody that's famous for being famous intentionally created that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just nuts that like people are famous for being famous.
If he's acting, he stays in that role and
Yeah.
doesn't.
Who
leave
was the
it.
first person that was famous for being famous?
Kardashian?
No.
I don't know.
Close.
Okay. Who?
Paris Hilton.
Yes.
Now, I mean, the argument though is that she was rich and in the limelight, so
Yeah,
that's
I mean,
why she was
listen, they
famous.
do
But
it
she
well.
became
They're
mega
super
famous.
Smart at it.
You're
you
right.
know. I mean, I'm not saying that they're not running a business and they're not intelligent in the way that they do it. But it's just crazy to me that you can make that much money for being famous. It's just insane.
Do you get
Are they
eyeballs?
all making
People will
money,
pay
though?
you. I don't think all of them. I don't think all of them. You mean all the Kardashians or all of
Well, the Kardashians are definitely making
Yes.
money, but
Yeah.
no,
You're
like
thinking
just
all the famous people
Yeah.
who are famous for being famous? I don't know.
like Kelsey pointed out, one of the commercials yesterday, the Super Bowl was all influencers. I wouldn't have known that, but like they got paid, and then they probably all reposted that commercial to their feed, and then got paid again.
I mean, there's some people we don't know about making $1 million a month on their channel.
Oh yeah,
On YouTube that
yeah.
we've never heard of.
Yep.
That we've never heard of.
Dude,
Someone has though.
I went down a rabbit hole, and I was something YouTube suggested it to me was like farriers cleaning off horse hooves. Have you guys ever seen this?
I have. It's so satisfying.
And so I'm watching it, and I don't even know why I'm watching it. And then I look, and it's got like 10.5 million views, and I'm like, wow, these guys are awesome.
Yeah.
So that was the first thing that YouTube sucked me in on. I don't watch that very much. The second thing, the second thing that YouTube sucked me in on was this guy who just gamble, like he just does slots, right?
And he films it.
Yeah. So it's called Vegas Matt.
Can you do that?
So he
You
literally
can't at the card tables, but I think you can.
he literally just goes and plays slots, and he'll play like baccarat and some other things every now and then. But he'll go play slots, and he'll do like anywhere between $60 and $1,250 per spin, and he's just going. And I have no idea why I'm watching it, but the whole time I'm thinking, this guy's brilliant because he has 1 million subscribers on YouTube.
That pays for his gambling addiction.
Exactly. They make all this money on their merch and
Yeah.
everything else.
And all
they
he's
get
doing
to
is
just
pushing
go
a
there and
button.
go gamble all day.
Dude, it's like the guys who get paid off of people wanting to see their picks but never actually make the picks on their own.
Themselves.
Yeah. I thought you were going to say the guy who power washes driveways.
Oh, I haven't done that.
It's amazing.
Oh yeah, or
The yard?
The yard.
The yard is so
That
good too.
dude.
No,
He one time a week he'll go to like basically an abandoned or someone who clearly can't mow their own yard, and he'll take like 3 or 4 hours film
I
the
like
whole thing.
watching these YouTube golfers. Like
Yeah.
the like they're basically just YouTube golfers, but they're entertaining and fun. And these
This
guys
new
are,
golf league is
these
fascinating.
guys are hilarious,
Dude, you guys know I went last week, right?
Yeah. So what was that?
It was TGL.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was
so,
literally,
So
yeah.
you're like in the game.
Rory versus Atwood. So here's what I will tell you. It's
Fleetwood.
It's Fleetwood. Sorry, it's $250 for any ticket in there. There's only 1,500 seats. It's at the University of
Where were you?
West Palm, something like that. So that's where Tiger built it. And you're right there.
Oh, yeah.
You're right there. You've seen the green change and everything, and we're rowdy. I mean, we're rowdy, and it's an upper class crowd. It's $250 for any ticket you want. I'm sure
Wow.
it's $1,000 for a lot of, and there's only 1,500 seats. So we're getting like people are having fun, but we're getting looks.
How
for
much
sure.
was it per ticket? I'm
Two-
just kidding.
So the minimum,
And you had to fly to get there?
The minimum you could spend is $250
How many
on a
people
ticket.
were there? 1,500.
Yes.
1,500 tickets.
So we're getting looks,
$250
whatever.
minimum.
Here's what I will tell you.
Got
On
it.
a scale from 1 to 10 vulgarity, we're being a 1. But
Okay.
we're being obnoxious.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So so Boston is Rory's team. They're losing, and he just won Pebble Beach the day before. We're going wild. Boston. And everybody's starting to get kind of pissed. This dad and son, who his son's like 23, so weird. But he's
I
like,
want to hang out with my son when he's 23.
this kid leaves and goes, I can't stand you guys, and leaves. The players are reacting to us, making eye contact with us, like giving us like thumbs up. There's this thing called the hammer. Do you guys know what this is?
Yes.
Basically, it's this way where you can make that hole worth
The
2
bet.
for your team.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Mhm.
We're yelling, hammer. And anyway, the
So
end of the match
the
is
players
all
are
being
liking
led-
it.
This
Yes.
is all being led by Jake Doherty.
So me and Jake,
Yeah.
Fiacco.
oh yeah. Okay.
It was a good group.
Yeah,
it was a
that
great
sounds
group.
like a great group.
So then the match is over. Justin Rose beelines it for us and gives us his glove and his golf ball. Everybody around us is just like
That's great.
jaw dropping. We're like, yeah, we told you. This is why they created this.
Yeah.
Was for this. It was awesome.
A lot of those players started filming like their off season. They film content
Bryson.
where they play
Well,
with barefoot.
Yeah, all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you ever are in Southern Florida, you go.
Mm.
Just go. It was awesome.
That's great.
It's fantastic. Yeah.
It's $250.
My point was, the people there had a stick
I'm
up their
just
butt.
kidding. I'm
Yeah.
just kidding.
You would have fit right in, Marcus.
I probably would.
All right, last fun fact. You ready for it?
Yep.
Golf.
So they got backlash on why.
That's what it was. It was a golf crowd.
Yeah.
And we were Happy Gilmore crowd.
Yes.
It just not.
Yep.
Wow. Can you guys hear me?
I just didn't realize it was just a golf crowd.
Yeah.
It wasn't. Yeah. Okay. Makes sense.
So they got backlash on this. Last fun fact is they got backlash that essentially why didn't they just recruit everybody like all the other superhero friends?
Yeah.
And the reason
Exactly. Where was Iron Man?
the reason is because they didn't. It was supposedly took place over 3 days, and they didn't have time, so they just handled it. That's the way the writers. That's the way the writers.
Yeah, there's
so you
no
got to
way
be
Iron
constantly
Man could've
thinking.
made
That's
it
what I'm
in
saying.
time.
That's
Yeah.
why. That's what's so impressive about some of
They
these
had to have an
elaborate
out.
things, like
Yeah.
J.K. Rowling.
I did think that at one point, like Iron Man totally could have been here by now.
I just figured Robert Downey Jr. had a conflict. Um,
Yeah, true.
Rating time. I can tell you right now, Mark's going to be highly disappointed. Red might be surprised too. I'm going to go 7.7.
Why would I? I'm having mic issues, guys. Can you hear
Yeah.
me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Why would I be disappointed?
You might be. I said you might be surprised.
Oh, yeah. I give it
Yeah.
a 7. I'm just not a Marvel guy. I like it. I'm just not.
Yeah, 7.9 for me.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah,
All right,
we're on the
Marcus,
same page.
I felt like you were in bed with this movie.
I said it's one of my favorite Marvel movies.
Got it. See, I think what I'm understanding is I love the body of work, but the individual movies aren't all.
I think
Home runs.
that especially with all the movies and stuff that we've been watching, all these critically acclaimed movies and things.
Exactly.
Like
if
it's
you're
hard
into
to watch-
those, it's hard to watch these.
It's hard to watch it and like give it a super high rating, but.
Yeah.
For what it is, and
Mhm.
That's a
and,
great-
Like, I just really,
great line
I
for
really
what it
like
is,
it.
yes.
Like, I mean, it's fun. It's got all the things. There's some deep meaning to it.
But you'd
and-
rather watch Titanic.
I love that being a critic who's going to be at the Indie Film Festival interviewing stars.
Heck
I
yeah,
can still
dude.
appreciate-
Heck yeah, bro.
I can still appreciate a good Marvel
We'll
movie.
be wearing our 3-putt shirts because we're going to be trying to give them away because we
Don't
bought so many of them.
We're gonna be
Just
sell
don't
three-putt
How- no,
shirts.
time out.
Please,
I
let's
feel
do it.
like that
Let's
phrase-
sell 3-putt
that
shirts at the
phrase-
Indie Film Festival.
3-putt.
Just don't 3-putt. Just don't 3-putt.
Just
I-
3-putt.
I feel like, hold on.
Please 3-putt.
there's a-
Three
Something-
putts.
3-putt.
How about just 3 putts?
3-putt.
What's the movie where the guy's
3-putt king, something like that.
The guy's trying to make something a
3
catchphrase?
putters?
What's the movie where the guy's trying to make something a catchphrase, but it's not?
No, it's Mean Girls and she's trying to make it fetch. Stop trying to make fetch work.
I think I'm thinking about the
Fetch
league.
happen.
Does the
Don't make
doctor
fetch
try to
happen.
make
Oh, wow. Vegas corrected me on Mean Girls
Does
quotes.
the doctor in the league try to make something a catchphrase at one point?
Oh, yes.
Is that what I'm thinking?
Yeah. Andre?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that one is binge worthy.
Yeah. The League.
Next, we've got Count of Monte Cristo.
Boom.
Wow.
Not Titanic.
Back from the dead.
Not Back to the Future. Count of Monte Cristo, which Rem has brought up many, many times.
You haven't seen it? Brett.
I love
Brett, get
how
ready.
though Rem was like, all right, this list, the bolded
gonna
ones, that's
be-
exactly where we're
I'm
That's
gonna
not
be-
what I said. That's
I'm
what
gonna
you
be more
said.
surprised.
That's exactly
I'm
what
gonna
you
be
said.
I'm gonna be more surprised when we say a movie and Brett's like, "Yeah, I've seen that."
Yeah,
Seen it
exactly.
5 times.
Have you seen Count of Monte Cristo?
Yes.
Have you read it?
It's been a long. I mean, for both the book and the movie.
You've
it's
read
been a long
it?
time.
Should we read it?
Well, we should.
Probably pretty long.
We already have 11 Rings coming up for that.
11 Rings.
We also have some other movies that I can't remember right now coming up. Maybe producer Nate can.
Once
help
Upon
us
a Time
out.
in Hollywood.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood coming up because
Speaking of Brad Pitt,
Helter Skelter, which is the story of Charles Manson,
coming
comes out on Netflix miniseries
yeah,
during that release.
I don't think I
So,
can watch that. We just keep watching these dark
I'm
or
gonna
like
watch it.
yeah, but everybody's gonna
Is
watch
Count of
it.
Monte Cristo child appropriate?
for no.
The movie?
Okay.
No,
you
probably not.
thought of any of my children.
I was going down the
Are
line.
there multiple versions of Count of Monte Cristo?
There's a new French version coming out.
Okay, so
Right.
we should watch that.
No. We should watch the one because the guy who plays it is what's his face that plays Jesus in the Passion, James or Jim.
No way.
Yeah,
Caviezel?
yeah.
When you said that, my brain totally thought The Chosen, and now
I feel like there's an older
No,
version
but
as
he
well.
plays Jesus Revolution, which is a great movie
There's
too.
there's an older version as well.
Wait,
Count of Monte Cristo.
Yeah.
The older one's not as good. The,
Time out, time
the new
out.
one.
So I think
Jesus
I've only
from The
seen the older one.
Chosen is not the guy in Jesus Revolution.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
Yeah, he plays the
He plays,
the gay traveling guy. Sonny.
the
He plays
pastor.
Sonny.
Oh, he does. Yes, the guy who has a falling out with the main guy.
He
Yeah,
can like heal
not
people and
Frasier,
stuff.
But
Yes.
the other guy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Kelsey
you're right.
Grammer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Frasier Grammer.
Yeah.
Frasier.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's a great show, but I never watched it.
Me neither.
All right. Any last parting thoughts?
Get ring tattoos. They're freaking sweet.
Yeah, and make sure it says the asset.